Yeah, this is the most bizarre Trump event I think I've ever covered. This one's in Oaks, Pennsylvania. It's supposed to be a town hall. For some reason, the governor of South Dakota, who killed her dog, Kristi Noem, is the one asking Donald Trump questions. And here she says to him, do you want us to play your songs? You said you wanted to hear your songs. Should we play your songs now? Here, play this clip.
Anyway, go ahead, please.
Yep. Well, sir, do you want to play your song and then greet a few people, or do you want to? Well, you had said you wanted to close with a specific song.
Okay, let's do a couple of
two more fast questions.
So, Justin, how about a couple of really beauties, and we'll sit down and relax. Let me just give you the bottom line, though.
More on that in a moment, but Donald Trump's cognitive decline was on display. Here, Donald Trump told people to go out and vote on January 5th. He said January 5th. Play the clip.
It will be, I'll tell you, if everything works out, if everybody gets out and votes on January 5th or before,
Then Donald Trump tells Kristi Noem, who killed her dogs, that you know a lot about guns. Play the clip.
They take it over with a level of sophistication, because you know a lot about guns from where you come and you like it. And I'm a big...
And then kind of like in the middle of his speech, Kristi Noem's like, all right, so here are the songs that you wanted us to play. And then Donald Trump's like, all right, let's play the song. And then he just stands there for like minutes listening to these songs. And he like just kind of bobs. I'm just going to show you small portions of it because this goes on for minutes as he's bobbing around and these songs are playing. Here, play this clip.
Well, sir, do you want to play your song and then greet a few people, or do you want to? Well, you had said you wanted to close with a specific song.
Okay, let's do a couple of
two more fast questions.
So, Justin, how about a couple of really beauties, and we'll sit down and relax. Let me just give you the bottom line, though. We win Pennsylvania. We win this great Commonwealth. We are going to win the whole ball game. It's such an important place. And we relate. And we are up in the polls fairly nicely. But it's really important. And we're going to turn this country around. It's the greatest movement in the history of our country, MAGA, Make America Great Again. When Biden would go on, he used to go on, say, we will stop MAGA. We will stop, remember with the purple background, the pink and purple? He looked like the devil, right? But she's worse than him, remember it. But they would say, we're going to stop MAGA. They go, MAGA means Make America Great
again.
I mean, what are you going to stop? And we are indeed going to make America great again. America has never, we're a declining nation right now. We're a nation in decline. And we're not going to be in decline for long, let me tell you. Every country respected us 4 years ago. We were energy independent. We had everything. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're going to bring it back bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Go and vote. Let me hear that music, please.
Everyone, let's thank President Trump.
Nice and loud.
God bless you. Let's send President Trump back to the White House.
Then he talks about, he says he knows guns, but just listen to what he's saying. Listen to this word salad here. Here, play this clip.
If somebody knows that you have a gun in your house, they say, let's go after somebody else. People put signs under this gun, or we have, some of them actually spell the kind of a gun they have. We have an AK-47 inside. And people say, you know what, let's just, and I knew about an AK-47 from a few weeks ago, and the AR-15, I know about that one too, I know a lot. But you know what? You have a lot of bad people out there, and you can't, it just can't be a one-way street.
Then someone has a medical event at the event, and Donald Trump says the individual should lose weight. He mocks the person who's having an emergency in the crowd. Here's the individual, by the way, who Donald Trump yells at and tells to lose weight as he's being stretchered out of the rally. That's what the individual looks like. Here's what Donald Trump says. Play the clip.
And we can spend a little more time.
Yes.
And personally, I enjoy this. We lose weight. No, you lose weight. We could do this, lose 4 or 5 pounds. It's okay with me.
Kamala Harris is.
But some people have been waiting here for 2 days for this. So, it's a little bit tough. It's a little bit tough, but they're going to try and get those doors open.
Yes.
And I don't know whose building this is, but if they had air conditioning, do you see any air conditioning?
They probably can't afford it, sir, in this economy.
That's right. They don't want to give us air conditioning. It's too expensive. It costs too much. Anyway, but they're both okay.
Yes.
They're both in good shape.
And that's wonderful.
Would anybody else like to faint? Please raise your hand.
Let's do it now.
Please raise your hand. You know.
Then Donald Trump spreads more lies about Springfield, Ohio, and he says that the migrants who are there lawfully are actually illegal immigrants, spreading more racism and xenophobia. Play this clip.
These other people are coming in, and they're affecting the school systems, and they're affecting the hospital system. I mean, if you take a look at what's going on in Springfield, Ohio, a town of 50,000 people, they've just added 32,000 people, illegal immigrants. And
Donald Trump then tries to talk about gas and cooking, and I don't even know what he's even saying here because, again, he's really mentally, he's having real issues. Play this clip.
So, great. Because small businesses are actually bigger than big businesses when you add them all up, and it's very important. And sounds like yours. I would love your food. I can tell by looking at that guy. I think I'd like to go over there. If I'm over there, I'm going to stop it. The fact is that, you know, they want to get away from gas. And I have friends, they're into the cooking world. I'm not. I just like to eat. But they're into the cooking. And I don't know how you feel. It sounds like they feel that gas is much better than the electric for cooking, right? And they have this thing about, you know, they want to put gas out of business, right? No gas. You know the amazing thing? We don't have electric in this country, but we have all the gas you can use. We have oil and gas. That's what we have. And even the cars, if you look, they want to go with all electric cars. California is having blackouts every week, brownouts, blackouts, and then they come up with rules and regulation to go to all electric, but they can't even supply what they have. It's so nuts. We're going to get, number one, your utility costs. You heard me say it before. Your costs will be down, and we're getting rid of all the electric. If you want electric, great. And if you want gas, great. The only thing you can't have is a hydrogen car, right? You heard me say that, right? Because you know what happens? They have a new car, they say it's great, but it's got one problem. You know what the problem is? Every once in a while, one will blow up. And if it does blow up and you happen to be inside of it, you're in bad luck because you're not recognizable. Do you know that? It's the new thing, hydrogen. I said, no, thank you. I don't want it. I don't want. They called the wife. That's not my husband. Oh, yes, it is.
Then Donald Trump takes the mic again. He says he's going to take another question, then changes his mind, and then calls Democrats evil. He then tells his production crew to play the YMCA and then starts dancing to the YMCA. Just, you can clip it where he starts talking about, where he starts dancing, but just show a small portion of it because he then just dances to the whole YMCA song and then takes more questions and then starts dancing to those other songs. Here, play this clip.
So, this has been an honor tonight. We could do another question or two if you'd like, but probably. Do you want to do one? Do you want to do? Let's go. Let's go. You know, but it ends so beautifully. How about this? We'll play YMCA and we'll go home. But listen, whatever you can do, get out there. We have to win. This is important. This is the most important election in the history of our country. And you know what? I never thought I'd say it again. I said it was 16. We then fixed the border. We did everything. We had a great economy. It was good. For 20, we didn't have to say it. By the way, we got millions of more votes in 20 than we did 16. But there's never been spirit that we've seen like this. And that's because we saw how bad they are. They are so bad. And frankly, they're evil. They're evil. What they've done, they've weaponized our elections. They've done things that nobody thought was even possible. So we're going to go, we're going to vote, we're going to have a good time, we're going to make our country great. This is going to be, I want this to be a really important evening. And those two people that went down are patriots, and we love them. Yes. And because of them, we ended up with some good music, right? Right? So play YMCA. Go ahead. Let's go.
And here he is randomly talking about Hannibal Lecter again. Let's play it.
Pay the price. They're going to, and it's a very bad thing that's happening. So they're coming in, many are coming in from jails and prisons and mental institutions, insane asylums. That's like, a step above, right? Insane asylum. And whenever I go, Hannibal Lecter, you know what I'm talking about. They always go the fake news. That's a lot of fake news back there, too. But They always mention, it's a way of demeaning. They just say, Hannibal Lecter, why would he mention? Well, you know why? Because he was a sick puppy, and we have sick puppies coming into our country. I figure that's better than wasting a lot of words. You just say Hannibal Lecter, we don't want him, but they always sort of say, why would he say that? I do it for a lot of reasons, but I do it because we are allowing some very bad people into our country.
What is this? On the other hand, here's Governor Walz, his speech earlier in the day. Play it.
Over the weekend, Kamala Harris made it very clear on this. She's ready. She has been making this clear for a long time. She's ready to be commander-in-chief, and she released her medical records. Straight, clean bill of health. Physical, mental stamina to do the job. Now, I think you all know where I'm going with this, don't you? We're all wondering. Donald Trump said that he would release his numbers. He would release his medical records. Look, he says now, I think he forgot to do it. He's been forgetting things. We'll give him a break on this. But Kamala Harris is right on this. Watch his rallies. He's confused. He's a nearly 80-year-old man. He's ranting and rambling until people get bored and leave his rallies. That's happening.
Here's Governor Walz again. Let's play it.
But here's the thing about this. It would be funny if it wasn't so dangerous. Yesterday, he went on Fox News. That's a safe place for him. He went on there, and he suggested that he is going to send the military against the enemy from within. Now, I want you to think about it. In other words, Americans who don't support him. Just to be clear, if any of your neighbors or friends or anybody thinks about that, you know who he's talking about? He's talking about you. He's talking about you. He's talking about someone who comes to a rally to express their love and their commitment to our democracy. Donald Trump sees that as an enemy. All right. So I have to tell you, as someone who wore this nation's uniform proudly, as someone who now is the commander-in-chief of the Minnesota National Guard, the idea of sending U.S. military personnel against American citizens makes me sick to my stomach. I'll tell you what, we'll let the lawyers decide if what he said was treason, but what I know is it's a call for violence, plain and simple. And it's pretty damn un-American, if you ask me. So look, if anybody wants to pretend that this is a normal conversation that Donald Trump is having, just dispel that. The former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, said, "No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core." Let that sink in, and don't be a damn bit afraid of saying it, because that's exactly who he is. That's exactly who he is. But here's the thing. Here's the good news. We get to do something about it. If you're like me, I am sick and tired of this guy, ready to turn the page on him, and we can do that by making Kamala Harris the President of the United States.
And here's Vice President Kamala Harris, and here she plays a montage of Donald Trump clips showing his own words. Here, play this clip.
And so after all these years, we know who Donald Trump is. He is someone who will stop at nothing to claim power for himself. And you don't have to take my word for it. I've said for a while now, watch his rallies. Listen to his words. He tells us who he is. And he tells us what he would do if he is elected president. So here tonight, I will show you one example of Donald Trump's worldview and intentions. Please roll the clip.
The worst people are the enemies from within. The enemy from within. Those people are more dangerous, the enemy from within, than Russia and China. These people should be put in jail the way they talk about our judges and our justices. Now, if you had one really violent day, one rough hour, and I mean real rough.
I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military.
So you heard his words. You heard his words coming from him. He's talking about the enemy within Pennsylvania. He's talking about the enemy within our country, Pennsylvania. He's talking about that he considers anyone who doesn't support him or who will not bend to his will an enemy of our country. It's a serious issue. He is saying that he would use the military to go after them. Think about this. And we know who he would target. And we know who he would target because he has attacked them before. Journalists whose stories he doesn't like. Election officials who refuse to cheat by filling extra votes and finding extra votes for him. Judges who insist on following the law instead of bending to his will. This is among the reasons I believe so strongly that a second Trump term would be a huge risk for America and dangerous. Donald Trump is increasingly unstable and unhinged. And he is out for unchecked power. That's what he's looking for. He wants to send the military after American citizens. He has worked to prevent women from making their own health care decisions and threaten your fundamental freedoms and rights.
There you have it, folks. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers together. That was some weird stuff in the Trump event. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram @MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.